Part 13. The Plan. The weekend had passed, and it was the night of the concert. All three girls showed up and left their backpacks underneath one of the snack tables in the multi-purpose room. They were all very anxious for what awaited them in the gym. They were now in the school chapel to perform their songs. The concert seemed like a blur, from the starting introduction given by Miss Keating to the number of songs that passed on quickly like the wind. The final song was done. Applause filled the room, and the girls looked at each other nervously. As the students were dismissed from the chapel, the girls scattered, greeted their parents, and waited for the adults to start talking to each other. This way, the girls could use that as a distraction. Only a few minutes passed, and the parents were chatting. Other kids were wandering around and playing, and the girls slipped away. They grabbed their backpacks and walked straight into the dark gym. The sounds of chatter from the hallway and nearby multi-purpose room seemed to disappear as the girls zoned in on the closet just ahead. Paige and Sophia pulled out flashlights, and Maggie pulled out a slice of pizza, a sugar cookie, and a pack of fruit snacks that she saved from lunch. Paige called out,
"Hello? Are you in there?"
She was worried that the shadow might not be in the closet since the whole gym was dark, but the closet door creaked open.
"Paige, Maggie, Sophia, you're all here,"
the voice said.
"Yeah, and we brought you some food,"
Sophia said.
Food. Thank you. Bring it over here,"
the voice said.
"Not yet. We wanted to ask you some questions first, and then we'll give you our food,"
Maggie replied.
"Okay, so what do you want to know?"
the voice said.
"Who are you? What are you?"
Maggie said.
I'm just a lonely girl who wanted some friends,"
the voice answered. Maggie continued to ask the voice questions.
"How did you make yourself look like Paige?" "I have special abilities, like copying what others look like. It's almost like a mirror, that's all,"
the voice said. Sophia stepped in and asked,
"What do you want from us? Why have you been bothering us?" "I never meant to scare you, girls. I'm sorry I've gotten upset. I told you, I just wanted some friends,"
the voice said. Sweat dripped from Paige's forehead as the conversation, which had only been a few minutes, seemed to have lasted for hours.
"I saw a shadow moving on the wall last week. Was that you too? It had to have been, right?"
Paige asked.
I'd love to answer more of your questions, but I'm just so hungry now. Could you bring the food over here so I can eat and we can continue our fun conversation?"
the voice asked. Maggie looked at Paige and Sophia and said,
"This was my idea. I'll go. Just shine your flashlights on the door."
Maggie started walking towards the gym closet with the food in her hands. Part 14. She's gone. The voice began to speak again as Maggie came closer.
"You know something funny about those flashlights you're holding?"
the voice asked. Maggie was right outside the door, and as she began placing the food down, the voice continued and said,
"The lights from them are so small that they hardly affect me at all."
Suddenly, a large shadow at least 20 feet wide and tall emerged from the closet. It was like a large, shadowy face with dark circles for its eyes and mouth. Maggie's mouth dropped, but she couldn't scream, as it felt like the air left her lungs from how scared she was. Then, the shadow swooped down and covered her like a mist until her friends could see her no longer.
"Maggie!"
Paige screamed.
"What did you do to her? Where did she go?"
The shadow's voice was completely different than the one from the closet. The voice laughed and said, "So quick to ask more questions, Paige, but allow me to answer your previous one. Yes, the shadow that you saw was me. This is what I am, but only for now." Sophia looked at Paige and quickly back at the shadow. She was in shock, but she asked,
"What do you mean, for now?"
The shadow responded, "Once I have enough energy, I will transfer back to my world and regain my body."
Your world?
Sophia asked with a stunned look on her face.
Yes, my world! I didn't choose to be trapped in this pitiful world! And the food from the kitchen, though delicious, has been nowhere near enough energy to send me back. So I began to observe every person that passed through this gym of yours. Person after person, it was only you three girls that caught my attention. Starting with Paige. The first time I encountered you here with the basketball, I sensed an energy that was similar to an energy I'd felt before.
Sophia asked.
What do you mean? Is there something different about Paige? About all of us?
So it is as I suspected. None of you three know what kind of power you have. No matter. I realized that Paige was far too weak after our first meeting. But as each of our frightening encounters continued, it seemed that the energy inside her grew stronger every time. As it did with you, Sophia, and Maggie as well. And that's when I decided to wait. Wait until the right moment to claim your energy as my own. That time is now!